Whoa, 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 okay. Hey guys, it's the Object Show Analyzer, back with another analyzing video, and today we're going to be talking about... Okay, now I'm dizzy. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about, well, not we, but I'm going to be talking about my top 6 object shows. Now, the reason it's 6 is because I couldn't really think of anything else, so it's gonna be top 6. I know you guys are like, that's kind of strange, top 6, why not top 5 or top 10 or even top 15? But yeah, I do that to my channel, so yeah, I guess let's begin. But also, before I start, if you got, this is my opinion, okay? I keep telling you guys that. Please respect my opinion. I will respect yours, even if it's like, even if there's an object show I hate. Like, let's say for instance, Object Mayhem. I don't hate the object show, but let's use an example. Let's say I hate Object Mayhem, and one of you guys' favorite object show, your number one object show is Object Mayhem. I'll respect it. I don't like it myself, but at least I'll respect your opinion because you have your own feelings. So please respect my opinion, as this is just what I think. Also, I just realized none of my videos have ever gotten a dislike. So now I know somebody just gonna come straight to the like and dislike and just dislike the video, but up to now, thanks for that. I started the channel a week ago. I've grown so much. I've got 61 subscribers as we speak right now. The goal is 1,000. I'm trying to get monetized. You guys know that. But yeah, so if your favorite object show is not here, then please don't come for me. It's just an opinion, okay? It's not a fact or anything. It's just an opinion, okay? And also, if any animators like Jack and Jellify, Fusion and Mish, if any of you guys are watching this, most likely not, but if any of you guys are watching this, no disrespect to you or your object show. I love every single object show, even ones that don't seem good, that seem crappy and kind of corny. I still enjoy it, okay? I respect all object shows as they put time. And also, I'm working on my own object show called Block Battle, where I don't have enough fingers, but where 14 blocks compete to win a wish. Okay, they have one wish. Using that wish, they could wish for a bunch of wishes. They could wish for one thing, or they could just wish for a power. They could wish for anything, okay? So 14 blocks, one host. Also, the host's name is Brock. Now, I didn't, yesterday I posted the intro. Yeah, sorry about that. Yesterday I posted the intro. It didn't have the host's name in it, but the host with the yellow spiky hair, yeah, his name is Brock. So yeah, 14 blocks, one host, block battle. I'm currently working on episode 1, but let's get back to the video and let's begin. Okay, so coming in at number 6, we have Paper Puppets Take 2. So, man, Paper Puppets Take 2 is a really well balanced object show. It's not like a animation per se. It's kind of like a bunch of Google slides, and the way you use the Google slides, that's what makes it into an animation a little bit, kind of. That's kind of like what my show is going to be about, Block Battle. I'm using Google slides to make it, but for Paper Puppets Take 2, it has some, you could tell it's animation because it has some hand animation, and it has legs and moving animation, kind of like each slide is just a different leg moving. So one slide could probably have the legs like this, then the next slide like this, and it just moves forward. So this show is not, it's an object show, okay? Not really much of an animation per se, but I like it. Okay, the characters have good personalities. There's a bunch of, honestly, out of all the object shows, this object show has the most like intenseness. With season 2, episode 3, Paper Puppets Take 2, episode 3, Blue Nightmares with Journal, talking about Mr. Hand from season 1, I believe. So this show, and this is just not that episode 2. And Journal is one of my favorite characters in the whole series, in fact. So, Paper Puppets Take 2, you're at number 6. Number 5, we have Non-Existent Living. This used to be my number 1 object show, but it hasn't really been here for a long time. Okay, so I think episode 3 is almost up a year ago. But yeah, non-existent living. It's pretty good. 14 contestants battling, and what I like about it, it's unique. It doesn't have teams. Like the bottoms in each episode, the bottom contestants who didn't complete the challenge, they're for elimination. But there's no teams. It's every person for themselves throughout the whole show. You can form alliances and stuff like that. Like I think that's one of the only object shows I know that doesn't have any teams. So I kind of like that. I kind of like it for that. But I also like the animation style and all the 3 episodes that are out so far. Dope. One of those, especially episode 3, is my number 1 favorite. And I like the fact that Mug is cheating and Thermometer has dirt on her. I really want to see Mug go home. Sorry, not Mug. What's your name? Yeah, Picture Frame. Sorry, I had to type it up. I like that Picture Frame is cheat. Well, I don't like it, but it's kind of interesting that she's cheating. She got caught, so I wonder what's gonna happen in episode 4 if he's still working on it. Yeah, Paper Puppets. Ugh! Non-existent living. You're at number 5. Now, it's time for the fourth one. And we have AIB. I don't know why I just said it like that. But yeah, inanimate battle, AIB, the object show made by Gainly Group 57. That's probably one after the other 3. That's of course it's my number 1 object show, but I really enjoy the concept of the show, and I like the animation style and the art, and so it's basically 60 objects. I mean, foods or inanimate objects. Like one of the contestants a sock, another one's a glove, and I like how just based on what they are is how they're friends with each other. Like there's 2 contestants, like yellow food coloring and orange food coloring, and they're best friends. If they were sisters or brothers, then it would be kind of better because they're related. But yeah, and also there's glove and sock, as they both go together and they're friends. Then there's a peanut and jelly, I think, and they're also friends. But I like the object show because of its creativity, and it's very humorous. It's pretty funny. So yeah, really like inanimate battle. And most of these object show videos where they're like, what are my top 10 object shows and stuff like that, they don't really explain it. So I think I should deserve a little bit credit for actually explaining myself. Oh, whoa. Yeah, for actually explaining myself. So yeah. Okay, now we're getting into the juicy ones. My top 3 object shows. Coming in at number 3, we have BFB. Yup. Now BFB is very interesting. Okay, we have at the start of the show 64 contestants. We have at least half of them from the previous 2 seasons, BFDI and BFDIA, and then we have the recommended characters from BFDI who are also in so basically the recommended characters are now playing in the game. And the announcer got lost, and then 4 came in with X, and yada. So it's very interesting. And then after that, there was a split in BFB 16, so BFB 17 and 4 on, and then there's Teapot. So BFB is a lot to take in. Okay, if you miss one episode, you're screwed. You have to kind of rewatch everything. So BFB, that's one of the hard things about that. But BFB is really well balanced. I like how they managed to separate it like that, so that way they're not under too much pressure. Like, oh wow, I gotta animate 64 contestants in less than 6 months to please over 900,000 people. It's I don't know how they do it. Thought they would be under a lot of pressure, but yeah. BFB, you're at number 3. Hey, BFB, you at number 3. Hey. Yeah, I'm gonna start joking around. But yeah, now we have number 2. For number 2, I have Inanimate Insanity. Now in the Inanimate Insanity versus BFB video, I said Inanimate Insanity is better than BFB, as you can see, but that doesn't mean Inanimate Insanity is my number 1 object show. If it wasn't for if the number one object show got held back at least a few dates, then I would still be my number one. But now it's my number two. But in Anime Insanity, if you watch I versus BFB, is Anime Insanity better than BFB? If you watch that video, then you already know why. Anime Insanity is better. It has good character development. It takes time to make, but the time is worth it, because in that time span, they're thinking, how can we better the channel? How can we make these characters grow? How can we make sure the fans love them? And I'm a fan, of course, so they're kind of talking about me and other people, but... And they're also bettering their animation style. They're thinking of new ways, new concepts, and there's a lot of drama to unpack in each episode. So even though it takes like 8 or 9 months, and you're like, wait, Anime Insanity is still going? Like, it's amazing. Okay. Now for my number one object show, we have Teapot, The Power of Two. Yep, Teapot's my number one object show right now. Let me tell you why. See, Teapot is basically Anime Insanity, but better, to me. It literally had, like, because when the split happened, Jack and Jellify, they made a video about why the split happened, and they said Teapot. Ooh, my lips dry. They said they made Teapot because it was to please the people who want to see the characters grow, and it's like Book. They could have split the characters into whatever they want. Whoever wanted to be in BFB, who wanted to be in Teapot. They chose Book to be in Teapot because she has a lot to work on. So like, based on how the characters have played throughout BFB 1 through 16 is based on how they are put in either BFB or Teapot. Like characters like Ruby, they don't have anything to grow on. They're just funny. They're just like all over the place. Same thing with Gelatin. Same thing with Flower. Flower, she's I guess she's been more loved, but throughout, ever since BFDI, she was hated. Ever since from BFB 1 to BFB 16, she's grown in that time, so she doesn't have anything to work on. But if you guys want a video on why I think certain characters got put into BFB or Teapot, let me know. But yeah, Teapot is my number one object show. It's basically like an Anime Insanity, but the thing that stands out is animation. Because let's be honest, if we have a good developed show, but the animation is crappy, it's terrible, you got the mouth on top of the head and the legs are used as arms, then let's face it, we're not gonna watch it. Okay, but if we have, it's the same thing. Like if you have a good animated video, very well animated, but it's pretty stupid, you're still going to watch it because it looks good, but you're not really going to come back to it again because you get the show has no purpose. It's just a sloppy animated object show. So that's why you need to have good animation and good character development. Well, not character development, but the show needs to be developed as a whole good on its own. So I think Teapot has a lot of that, just like in Anime Insanity. But when it comes to Teapot, the animation is just, to me, okay, the animation is just way better. Okay, so no disrespect to Animation Epic, and no disrespect to Yellow and Rule, and Jordan the One, and Gatling Grove 57 for being on those places. But right now, to me personally, based on what I've seen, and based on stats, Teapot 1, because I've done my research, Teapot 1 is my number one object show. So yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys respect my opinion. If you agree with me, hey. If you don't, it's all good. I would respect yours even if I didn't agree with you. But that's the end of the video. Make sure to like and sub if you enjoy my content, and I will see you in the next video.